What is up, y'all? I'm Benjamin Outdoors, and this is my channel.
Welcome back, y'all. So I'm actually working on the F100 again today, and I actually got it running and driving, but the next step is getting it roadworthy. So one of the first steps is getting new wheels and tires because these are super dry rotted for obvious reasons. So I actually have these super awesome newer wheels. These are 2022 Badland Bronco wheels. Super nice. And I got some a little bit newer Goodyears on them. I got those for a good deal as well. Paid very little for both those. So I'm super excited about those. These are bigger than stock, so I'm probably gonna have to lift the front end of this truck, and the lift kits for these things are insanely expensive. And you can't just put bigger springs in them because it'll mess the alignment up. There'd be some serious camber, and that's not good. So you have to do drop brackets for everything. And the whole kit is like, some of the nicer kits are like $5,000. Some of the just the drop brackets are like $700-800 for both. It's ridiculous, and I don't want to drop a ton into this two-wheel drive system because I'm looking at doing a four-wheel drive system in the future. Solid axle would be really nice, but I'm not trying to spend a lot of money right now, so I just want to make some drop brackets myself for all the suspension to be able to make everything good, obviously, and look good and align properly. But next step 2 is looking at the brake system, making sure everything's good there, bleeding the system, maybe replacing the calipers, stuff like that. And then also getting a steering wheel on this thing because, you know, I think we can all agree that's kind of important to be able to control the vehicle on the road. So I got most of the parts here, so let's install them. But before we get into the main video, I want to show y'all some clips of when I actually went to purchase those Bronco wheels. And I actually took some tires off of some wheels I already had, and I put them on the Bronco wheels. So let's get into it. So I just picked up the wheels, 2022 Badlands Bronco wheels, and this is what I'm driving and seeing. Look at this beautiful sunrise in Clearwater. Tampa over there on the skyline. So I took all the tires off the JK wheels and I just finished mounting them on the Bronco wheels. And these things look amazing. Super excited for these. Okay, so this is concerning. It is insanely hard to spin this over. Okay, it spins easy that way, but really hard this way, forward. Maybe that's partly why it's wanting to stall. Oh, there we go. So I've seen worse. I mean, the surface in here is very smooth, but it feels like there's some type of liquid. I wonder if it's like diff fluid that is leaking out the axle seal or not. I don't know. There's a spring that fell out, that broke, but I don't know where it is from. Probably from, oh, it's probably from over here to here. But overall, it's got plenty of brakes left. and it probably will burn that off once you stop a few times. As long as the front's good.
There we go.
Okay, so it's spinning the drive shaft easy now. So it's something with the brake system. So I went to the store and got a hardware kit because it was $10 and the shoes look really good. Some of the other stuff looks a little rough, but I think will be usable still. I'm hoping the cylinder itself is good. I sprayed everything with PB Blaster, the bleed nipples, so hopefully those will be fine when that time comes. I'm going to pull everything off and then reinstall all the new stuff, and hopefully everything is held where it needs to be properly. Because I think something was binding up. When I was spinning that side over there, it was really hard to spin, but now the shaft spins nice and easy, and this thing is super, super easy to spin. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the diff. I'm still going to service it, but I think the main issue was in here. I brushed everything off, and then this adjuster pin is actually seized. So I'm going to see if I can unseize it, clean it up, and then grease it up and see if I can get it to work again. So it didn't take much, just a little crack and it broke loose, but I cleaned up the threads and put some high temp wheel bearing grease on it, and so it should be good for quite a few more years. I don't have a fancy disc brake tool, so I just gotta use pliers. Alright, that's good. Woo! Looks right. Looks to be right. That'll do. So I'm gonna have to adjust it, make sure it fits snugly around the drum when I put it on there, and then I'll put the adapter on, cut these studs down and everything. We'll be good over here. So you basically just spin this adjuster out until it kind of snugly fits over it. Alright, that should be good. Maybe it needs to be adjusted a tad bit more, but you can adjust it from the back side, and that's what these rubber plugs are for. So I ended up looking at the cylinders, and it looks like they're toast, which is great. I wish I would have looked at that before I reassembled that side. So I gotta disassemble that side and wait for the part to come in. I got 2 of them off Amazon. They were like $7 a pop, which is really good, I feel like. And then after that, I'll reassemble everything, but right now I'm gonna move to the front, see if I can do anything up there. Hopefully I don't have to order any parts for that, but I don't know. I may need calipers up there. Not too sure, but if they look anything like that, then maybe. But let's move up there. actually looks like it has newer pads on it, which is good. Looks like there's a decent amount of pad left on both. So I'm gonna make sure to flush this system really, really well, because I think it's working fine. I mean, I do have brakes. When I press down all the way, there is a big distance in the brake pedal that there is no pressure, but I might just need to be bled a little bit. But now I'm gonna put the adapter on and see if the wheel fits with this massive stub on there. It appears that wheel bearing cap is far enough recessed where I could probably use the Bronco cap. Nice. So there's some pretty big grooves in the rotor, and yeah, it's not the best, but it's not going to prevent it from stopping. So I'm going to run it like that for right now. So it's really stiff, a lot stiffer than the other side. And I'm thinking it's either the caliper that has a seized piston, or it's maybe fluid staying in the line, I don't know, and keeping pressure on it. I don't know, but between that and one of those that were having an issue, I'm pretty sure that's why it was stalling out really easy, and maybe shaking too. So once I fix that and the back, it might drive good. Or at least, you know, when you let off the clutch, hopefully it'll be less rough. And hopefully it won't stall as easy. So since this caliper is sticking, I'm going to try to break this fitting loose. I'm going to actually spray some PB Blaster on it and then put some heat on it and try to break it loose. And then I can suck some brake fluid through there and see if it may, you know, free up. I don't know. Alright, so look at that crap. There's hardly any fluid in there, and it is disgusting. So I'm going to clean that out, put fresh fluid in it and suck as much as I can out. I cleaned it out a good bit, as much as I could. Looks pretty good now, so I'm gonna put more fluid in it and then just suck a bunch out. So both reservoirs are full, and I'm about to hook the air up to my new suction tool and start sucking. It's nasty. Dark brown. Spins nice and easy. So, it's good. Well, we'll see, I guess, after we drive it and use the brakes. So it's 2 days later. I got my cylinders in the mail from Amazon. They were $7 a pop, which isn't bad considering, I'm going to have the reliability of, new ones, which is good. Then I also picked up a tool set for drum brakes, and this will be really nice because it was really challenging trying to put all the springs on just with like pliers and screwdrivers and stuff. So this is all the stuff that I need for that. It was like $20, so it'll make the job a whole lot easier. And so now I'm going to break loose the brake lines in here, back here. Then I'm going to pull these bolts off that are on the back side of here. And then I'm going to replace the cylinder and then assemble this entire thing. Here's the old cylinder. Got the new cylinder. Looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to tighten up the brake line back here. Tighten it a decent amount. And now I'm ready to assemble in here. So I made sure to lubricate this puppy really good. I put some grease in there and some grease on the threads too, so it should not have any problems in the near future. Screwdriver's probably the best for this one. These pins, I'm going to lubricate them pretty good and then put them in. The new cylinders. When you're messing with this new spring on this bar on the side, make sure you put the washer on too, goes right here. Because I forgot to do that on the side the first time, which doesn't really matter because I have to take it apart again, but gotta make sure this hook goes on here. This bracket is only held in by this spring hook. Looks good. It'll work. So I'm going to spin this adjuster out until the drum fits snugly over it. Okay. Now I'm actually going to clean the surface of the pads because there's a little bit of crap on them, and then I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the surface of here so it does not rust. Smear a thin coat. All right. Loctite. Leave that till after I bleed the brakes. Let's see if we can just leave it like that. Because all I'm doing is replacing that cylinder right there. So the brake line that goes to the back of the cylinder, it was actually pretty stuck on there. I had to spray with some PB, heat it up, and just sit there and wiggle it back and forth until it came off. But it finally came off without breaking the line, so I twisted a few times, but the line is fine. Yes. Make sure to lubricate it a good bit, both the pins. We'll install them in there. So I got the new cylinder in, looks good. Made sure to lubricate in there so it didn't rust. Everything else looks pretty good. Down here, I already adjusted this adjuster the first time I put this thing together, so it should still be good. Set there, and it spins super nicely. It spins the drive shaft. I've only dumped about maybe $25 into the spring kit and then also the cylinders. So I'm gonna throw the drum back on, put the adapter back on, then probably bleed the brakes and see if they all work. So I'm ready to bleed the rear brakes, and I was coming back over here to the master, and I filled that back reservoir all the way up. So I'm about to fill that back up and then start sucking out the furthest one away. And once I start getting clean fluid through, I'm just gonna suck out that side. So nothing is coming out. Let's try this side. So I was not able to get any fluid from the reservoir back at the brakes when I was sucking. So I decided to empty the reservoir that I just filled up, and I am going to disconnect the line and blow it out with some compressed air and hopefully clear any blockages. So I ended up taking this fitting off up here at the reservoir, but also down here, because I tried blowing through this hose and nothing reached the back, but I blew out this one and there was definitely fluid that came out there. So for some reason, fluid's not getting past this unit, and I am actually not sure what this is exactly. I'm gonna have to look it up. I did get fluid back here, so I'm gonna reconnect these lines because it squirted up a lot of places. But I got crap. And it actually, helped clear it out a little bit. But I'm gonna reconnect this and then try to figure out why the fluid's not getting past that unit. So I found out it looks wet right there because I actually have a leak in the master cylinder. It's about to drip. There we go. Yeah, so that's why the fluid was going down, because it's leaking into the floorboards. So I gotta replace that. It's about $35 on Amazon, eBay, probably like 50, 60 bucks at auto parts store. And I might have to replace this unit, whatever that is. I still don't know the name of it. After that, I should be able to bleed everything and it should be able to stop like new. I'm actually gonna put these wheels on, and I got the black lug nuts. And I'm going to pull it outside because my wife has had to really squeeze her car in here the past few days because I was waiting for parts for the brakes. So I'm gonna throw those on real quick. Whatever. So that is going to be it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. I have a few more parts to come in until I can get the brake system working perfectly, but it's getting really close to being roadworthy. Anyway, also that part that I didn't know what it was called is called a proportioning valve. I ordered a new one of those, and a master cylinder should be coming in soon. So until then, catch you on the flip side.